Welcome to Pod and Long. I am your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. We are here with a guy who most definitely did not spend his vacation on the Vikings boat. It's the Word of Drew.
For those watching on YouTube who look at me and are always like, "Who's that guy who's just slouching and low in his chair?" I've come to the crushing realization I'm not actually slouching that much. This chair is broken and it won't stay up. It just keeps involuntarily sinking under me.
The opossums are fucking with it.
It's just going to be your
The whole house is sinking because of possums.
possums.
Damn possum house.
Possums are load bearing at this point.
Just stacked on top of the possum.
Oh, God. Oh, you can't derail us in the intro. Yeah. All right. We're also here with Mr. Mike.
Gentlemen, who wants some turkey? Who wants some ham? Who wants some salami? It's time for Tommy Colcuff. Let's go! Finally, the Hyundai Elantra of quarterback play comes to New York. It looks like it might be reliable. It's going to break, but it's sure as shit cheaper than the other options.
You got to do what you got to do. We're also here with Mr. Megastar Mark.
America, you're welcome.
Oh, you did it.
Mark, are you coming out of your cave? Are you feeling just fine?
Wow. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in a second. I did not Paul Bear intro this time, so you're welcome for that.
It's a miracle Queen can drive.
Oh, my Undertaker, my Megastar Mark. Also, no voices. We're not doing any voices this week. Sorry, Drew.
Sorry, no voices this week.
It was like 10 minutes straight of voices, and it made me laugh.
Sure did.
I was watching that episode in the airport, waiting to board my plane for the return home. So I was already mad that vacation was ending, and I was like, "Dear God!"
Especially the one that goes from Aruba to Connecticut.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
That is a transition.
Why are they doing 10 minutes of voices? But we have a new voice. We did get a new voice. Michael Penix.
Old man Michael Penix I'm kind of into. It's my favorite since Karen Romeo Dobbs.
Karen Romeo Dobbs has not done a lot lately, so he might be back. He might be back. Karen Romeo Dobbs. All right, it's the A block, but we have a new segment we got to do, which we did the last couple years, which is the Hall of Fame list is out. The potential list of Hall of Famers, they narrow it down to what, like 8 guys?
So right now it's at 25, and it will be whittled down further, but it gets when it gets closer, it gets like whittled down 1 week, and then the next week it's down to like that's who gets in. So this is kind of what it's going to stay at for debate purposes.
Last time we did this,
4 to 8 slots a year, right?
Yeah. But some of them are like change position guys. So
last time we did this, you went down the list, and then we said yes or no. We thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yep.
So I think we're going to do that again.
All right. So I got the list right here, and I'm going to tell you also the name and then how many times they've been a semifinalist, because I feel like that is important.
That is important.
Mark with hard-hitting, deep dive information.
That's what I do. That's what I bring to this place. All right. First up, Eric Allen, cornerback, 5 times a semifinalist. Yes or no?
No.
I don't think so.
Eric Allen.
I want to say yes because I like him as a player, but I don't think so.
Like him as a player, played a long time. Pretty good ESPN analyst for a little while there, right? Mm-hmm. He was pretty good at that. So, but I say no.
Jared Allen, defensive end, 5 times a semifinalist.
Yes.
No.
It's rare that I say yes and everybody else
What?
says no. I say yes.
Why are you saying yes?
There was like a 3-year stretch where he was the greatest game record going. He was JJ or TJ Watt. He did it for 2 different franchises, and he used to catch the occasional touchdown pass. And then in his retirement message, he literally rode off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Yes. Right,
Wasn't he one of yours, Ryan, for like a brief?
He was a
moment?
Panther for 1 year.
Yeah, right.
1 year of Panther. I think it might have been 2015.
I actually don't have an opinion on this. Like, I wish. I could.
I'm kind of neutral.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be like,
number.
oh my god, I can't believe he's in, but also at the same time,
Yeah.
it's not like he's pounding the table to get him in.
Is he high on the sack list?
To me, the 100 sack plateau still gives you pretty good leverage. Like a lot of those milestones have kind of faded or warped, but like the 100 sack plateau is still very real, and he's over it. I'm pretty sure.
136 sacks of all time, and he also had 22 sacks in a season.
Yeah,
which is a lot. Okay.
Right. Willie Anderson, tackle, 5 times a semifinalist.
I am
Tackles
not
are hard.
enough
They're hard to
talk
judge.
about tackle play.
Like I feel like because he's the name of a tackle that I know at all, that he should be in, but I'm also not a good judge of offensive line talent unless it is super obvious.
I'm going to say no. If I have to hesitate, then that's a no.
Okay, all right.
I have 2 philosophies when it comes to offensive tackles. One, I drafted my first round picks in Madden because I can't develop them. 2,
smart.
I just never I'm never gonna like Drew. I think Drew's barometer is a good one. Like if I've heard of you enough, I assume you're probably good enough to be a Hall of Fame player because they generally don't talk about offensive linemen that much unless they are lights out good. Like you have Trent Williams because Trent Williams is really freaking good.
Right. All right. Wide receiver Anquan Bolden. This will be his 4th time.
No.
I say no.
Again, same as Eric Allen. I want to because I liked him a lot as a player, and he did it for 2 different franchises. But I think
Niners. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah,
he was
Ravens was the other one I was thinking of, but he did play for the Niners.
He played for the Niners. Yeah,
incredibly tough.
I think he was on one of the Super Bowl teams.
Yeah,
I think the first Chiefs loss with Garoppolo. I think he was on that team.
He's a tough son of a bitch. So
yeah, he is.
I have a hard time.
His face.
Yeah, and played like the next week or something.
Yeah, right.
So, but I say no.
Jari Evans, guard, 3 times semifinalist. No. Antonio Gates, 2 times semifinalist.
He should be.
You guys know that he played basketball?
Did he? You know where Ryan Fitzpatrick went to college?
Joshua Dobbs was a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
I think yes.
I think
yes on Antonio Gates.
Yes.
James Harrison, linebacker, 3-time semifinalist.
I'm going to say yes.
I say no.
I mean, he has the coolest Super Bowl moment maybe of all time, right? That interception was awesome.
It was awesome. But no.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I also like him because he was like a guy nobody cared about and then became a thing.
85 sacks.
He only had the 1 year where he was super dominant. He had some other good years, but he only had 1 year where he was like a defensive MVP kind of guy.
So right now, we only have 2 guys in. Gates and Jared Allen.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
This guy can suck a dick. Rodney Harrison, safety for the Patriots, 4-time semifinalist.
No. There was a time when I would have said yes, but I think I've cooled on him, and it's no.
Fuck him. So
I think if you are literally the poster for the most miraculous catch in sports, you don't get in.
Too.
Good point.
You're never getting in because you gave up arguably the worst reception in the history of the Super Bowl, if not the NFL.
Give up the helmet catch.
Yeah.
Although wasn't
David freaking Tyree?
Wasn't Too Tall Jones the guy who whiffed on the catch, and isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
No, he's not. Too Tall. I don't think he's not in the Hall of Fame. No, I don't think he is.
Shows what I know.
There's precedent there.
Yeah, I think because the only reason I say that is because I saw the senior committee, and I think he was on the senior committee list. So
I love the idea that Rodney Harrison's not going to get in the Hall of Fame because of Inster Decisis.
Here's the guy.
Don't say it, Mike. I know what you're thinking. Don't say it.
I don't get this one. Torrey Holt, wide receiver 11 times
Absolutely
semifinalist.
should be in.
Why is he not in now?
11 times? At this point, he's not getting in. If he's been there 11 times.
Is it just because he was on that Greatest Show on Turf team
This
and he
is-
got overshadowed by everybody else on it?
Because
I
Isaac
maybe.
Bruce went in.
Yeah, because of Isaac
Too,
Bruce,
but
basically.
Isaac Bruce is in, and I
Yes.
would think that Torrey Holt is better than Isaac Bruce.
He was very good after Bruce left, right? He kind of took
Yes,
over.
for many more years.
Yeah.
You know,
I was always more scared of Torrey Holt than I was of Isaac Bruce. And Isaac Bruce is a hell of a player, but like
Yeah.
Torrey Holt was the freak. I mean, he was just
yes.
the physical monster on that team.
This is what I
just
mean with
don't get it.
receivers not being in. Like,
Yeah.
And at one point, didn't he have the record for consecutive 1,000-yard seasons
It
or
was-
something?
Right. It's
Yeah.
crazy numbers he put up.
he
Unless
was
he
very
did something
good.
like Frank Reich did.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh.
First time eligible. Let's see. Is he behind you? No. Luke Kuechly.
Oh, I love Luke. He's amazing. If he played longer, yes. He didn't play long
Yeah.
enough. He only played
Yeah,
9
no,
years.
play long
That-
enough.
He
that's
retired
it.
at 29.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
If
And
he had
missed
played a
lot
full
of time when
career,
he did play.
But I
If he
think it's
played
impressive that he's
12
this
years?
far in after playing
Yeah.
9 years. Like, that's amazing.
he was an incredible player. My
he was
favorite
a guy
player
who-
during that time.
He was a guy who had Hall of Fame talent, but not a Hall of Fame career.
He
Yes,
didn't play long
that's
enough.
correct.
And
Yeah.
that's not his fault either. I mean,
No.
he
It just happens.
it happened and he got out when the getting was good. So good for him. He's doing like high school defensive coordinating for
I like
Greg Olson's
calm
kids.
down.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can't. I don't think he can be in. I don't think 9 years is not enough. I mean, he was an all pro at like 8 out of 9 years.
Yeah, out of 8 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. But
Oh, this
he's-
next one's good. This next one's
Yeah.
good. Drew, I don't want your life. It's Eli Manning.
Yes.
he has to be in.
Yes,
You
he
know
should
my
be in.
opinion. You know
Yep.
my opinion on Eli. He's got the
Yep.
most
Yes, man.
confusing Hall of Fame resume this side of Chris Osgood.
He has to be in.
He should. Yep.
That's 3, right? Is that our third?
That's- Well, we said
They're
Torrey
pretty
Holt.
unanimous.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
we
that's
all
4.
agree that-
Sorry,
yeah.
that's 4.
Can we not all agree?
Yeah.
We didn't all
defense-
agree on all of these, but let's just for argument's sake put 4 in right now.
Robert Mathis, 4 times.
No.
No.
No. Was the beneficiary of Dwight Freeney for too many years.
That's
Yeah.
dead on. Yep. Steve Smith,
Yes.
4 times.
Yeah. Why is he not in?
Once
Well,
again,
you're- and
weird.
and just for clarification's sake, you're talking Utah Panthers Steve Smith,
Yeah,
not
not the
USC
other one.
New York
Right.
Giants Steve Smith.
Right.
I mean, the guy won the Triple Crown when it hadn't been done since what? Steve Largent or
Yeah.
something?
And did it at 5'8".
I'm about to say toughest receiver I can think
Ever.
of, other than him and
Yeah.
Hines. So
He should already be in.
yep.
He's the greatest
Well-
Panther of all time, and Julius Peppers is in. So
Yep.
Really?
First
you
time.
would have him above Peppers? I'm not arguing. I just find that curious.
yeah, because he was
Okay.
there longer and
Yeah,
did
fair
more.
Hmm.
And Peppers left for a while. He left for the
played
Bears
Chicago.
and Packers.
Chicago.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. First time eligible, Terrell Suggs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ter-
he's scary.
terrifying,
motherfucker.
dude.
Yeah.
Scary.
Like, there is no way you played that Ravens defense and are not shitting a brick about where Terrell Suggs was on the
Yeah.
field.
Mhm.
I
He played for a
I'll-
while
I'll-
too, didn't he? He played for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a very long story very short.
Oh my
I
God.
was once on a FaceTime with Terrell Suggs, and he is intimidating through the phone.
He
Even on
played, by the way,
time, as my kids call it.
Yes.
2002 through 2019.
Played
Yeah.
a long
Played
time.
17 years at
He
linebacker.
was on the
Long
Cardinals.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Finished
the
his career with
Cardinal.
the Cards. Went
Yep.
back home.
Wow.
That is a long career. Running back Fred Taylor, and this will be his 6th year.
I
like
say
Fred.
yes, but I would understand.
You
if
do have an
everybody else said
irrational
no.
love of Fred Taylor.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
do
big on
love
Fred Taylor.
He was good.
Yeah,
He
he
was-
was. But he has the downside of having played for Jacksonville at an especially shitty time to play for
And-
Jacksonville.
And
Like,
I admit
well,
part of
he-
the problem with Fred is that when he was like age 22 through age 25, he wasn't on the field. So you have to kind of overlook the beginning of his career because once he hits like age 26, he rips off like 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
And then he gets forgotten because Maurice Jones-Drew and him were on the same team.
team at the same time.
Yeah.
So again, another one of those guys who might have been Hall of Fame talent, but doesn't have a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
Drew and I always talk about this. Like, can you write a story of the NFL without him? And I think I can.
You
write
can,
a story without Fred
unfortunately.
Taylor.
All right. So what are we up to in? What's our
I think
list
we're
of
like 5 or 6 at this point.
6?
Somewhere around there. First year eligible, Earl Thomas.
No.
No. The number one thing I remember about him, other than being a member of the Legion of Boom, was him being carted off and flipping off his own sideline.
Yeah.
Massive douchebag, first time eligible kicker, Adam Vinatieri.
He has to be in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Again, can you tell the story of the NFL without Vinatieri?
No.
No.
Yes.
You can't.
I can.
He has to be in.
You wish you
You
could.
can tell a happier story,
Right.
Mark.
I would like to hit him with a baseball bat, but he has to be in.
Hold on, you're getting into
9
Carlos Beltran territory, Ryan.
Yeah. I don't
Once
like
again,
him at all.
receivers. 9 times he's a semifinalist. Hines Ward.
He should be in.
I say no.
Wow.
I know.
I think I'm with that too, and also I think he's a dude who like pretty much everybody seems to hate for some reason.
He
Like
was
everybody kind of
around
hates
forever.
Ford.
Yeah. He's on the coaching staff at some university right now.
Yeah.
I forget what it is.
All right, so he's out. Okay.
So 5-time eligible, Ricky Waters.
No. And I know he's got 10,000 yards.
That's
but no.
homerism.
He's
Yeah.
underrated. He's underrated, but he's not.
He's
a-
underrated, but not a Hall of Famer.
I will
Right.
grant you that. He is underrated and underappreciated, especially as a guy who caught a
He
lot
was
of passes out of the backfield.
Really
but
good, but yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Well, let's keep going with wide receivers. 6-time eligible, Reggie Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wayne's not in?
No.
Marvin Harrison's in. We talked about that.
I think Reggie should be in.
Yeah.
Reggie hasn't killed anybody that we know.
Is
of.
Marvin the only Hall of Famer in the football foobar?
Oh, he might be.
Wow.
I mean,
That's a
yeah, he
very
might be.
tight.
'Cause
Venn
I never
diagram.
inducted OJ. So,
OJ.
first time eligible, Richmond Webb.
No.
4-time eligible, Vince Wolfork.
No.
No.
And that's
Uh,
and I'll give Vince this. That's not any fault of Vince. It's just he was very good at a very unsexy thing.
Right. Being
Like,
fat.
yeah, lump him in with like Ted Washington.
Ted Washington,
and a
right.
lot
I'd
of
rather
those-
have Ted Washington.
the
Yeah.
only of those true like gigantic defensive nose tackles that I would think about putting in the modern era would be Haloti Ngata.
Yeah.
Like the rest of
Mhm.
those guys were extraordinarily good at their job, but their job just wasn't a sexy job.
Right. And same, just like with Ted Washington, he played forever because you can just
Yeah.
be fat forever.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
not a
Sam
problem.
Adams,
Sam
same
Adams,
kind of
right?
thing.
Exactly. Yeah. This will be his second time. Steve Wisniewski,
The junior or senior?
guards junior. It looks like.
Jesus.
No, oh no, sorry, no, senior.
Gonna say can't be.
Senior, 89 through 2001. No.
Yeah, I mean, as
He
a
was
Raiders
dominant.
guy, I love him, and I would love to say yes because when he was playing, there was a lot of talk about him being a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
But if he hasn't gotten in yet, I don't know what's going to change for him.
Fair enough. 9 times. We only have 2 people left. 9-time semifinalist Darren Woodson.
No,
No. I'd
No.
say no.
Nah.
Also, kind of the same thing. Like if you've been 9 times as a semifinalist and you're not in,
yeah.
Shouldn't be
I
in.
mean,
not
what's
gonna
your?
go in.
I mean, I
Unless
I
you're a
hate to
wide
say this
receiver, that's a whole
because-
nother
yeah,
category.
I hate to say this because he was a great player, but like, what's your favorite Darren Woodson memory?
right?
Don't have one.
That time he and the gang solved the mystery and saved the amusement park. Jinkies.
It was Old Man Wickets the whole time.
He was trying to burn it down for the insurance money.
Finally, first time eligible guard Marshall Yanda.
I would say yes.
I'm on the fence with that one. I
First
could go
year
either way.
though, no, not first year.
It's
He
you
was-
know what?
All pro most of those years.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go off list here because I always feel like this guy gets forgotten, and I don't understand why he gets no Hall of Fame consideration at all. And listen, the knock on him when he was playing was that he was quiet and got forgotten. Jaguars Jimmy Smith,
oh yeah,
Amazing.
12,000 receiving yards in an era when that still meant something. He doesn't have the gaudy touchdown numbers that a lot of guys do. I think he has like 70 or something like that. But like he
Yeah.
gets no nods at all. And that dude was unbelievable for an extraordinarily long period of time.
I was afraid of him.
So another player that got left off this last 25 list that so far people online are upset about is Marshawn Lynch is not on the last 25.
I'm actually okay with that. And I love Beef Mo, but I'm okay with that.
But we saw him get drafted, Drew. We were there.
It's true. We were. We also saw Buster Davis get drafted, so
And the family of Ted Ginn.
And Jamarcus Russell and the family of Ted Ginn and Brady Quinn and Dwayne Bowe. So,
I just looked up the top players who are not in the Hall of Fame. Jerome Bettis, is he in the Hall of Fame?
I thought he was.
I thought he was too.
Maybe he is. Terrell Davis, is he in the Hall of Fame?
Terrell Davis is in.
I think this is an old list.
So this list is not right.
Yeah, right.
What the hell? Google?
What the hell, internet?
What Angel Fire website did you find?
I don't know.
Dancing hamsters up top.
Steve Tasker?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame because special teams, a third of the game.
Wasn't good at his actual position.
Jim Plunkett's not in the Hall of Fame.
So he is, though, on the senior committee this year, which is almost an automatic shoe-in to get in. Like, if you're on the senior committee, you almost always get shoehorned right in.
Jim Plunkett, from a numbers standpoint, probably doesn't belong. But looking at it through a modern lens, it's pretty hard to say. Yeah. It's pretty hard to say no to a guy who won 2 Super Bowls.
But same thing. If I'm writing a history of the NFL and I get to like that era, like he's gonna get mentioned because of what he was doing. Right.
What counts against him is that he wasn't the MVP of either of those Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And he played in an era where they ran the ball a ton, and the Raiders just relied on their defense.
But I'm glad he's getting in.
Linebacker Clay Matthews Sr.
No.
Roger Craig is not in.
No.
I like Roger Craig. I feel like he should be in.
Here's my case for Roger Craig. The man would produce almost 2,000-yard seasons, like doing 800 and 800. It is. He ran, and again, a weird ass Niners offense. So his numbers don't always look normal. But he was a massive dual threat, both out of the backfield catching balls in an era when that was not
common. He's the first guy ever to do 1,000 rushing and catching in the same season.
Yeah,
forgive me, I was wrong. Jim Plunkett was the MVP of one of those Super Bowls. Yeah. I got him confused with the Fred Biletnikoff one.
Sterling Sharp, we didn't mention him. He's not in.
Great career, but not long enough.
Yeah, no.
If he played a full career, absolutely, but not long enough.
We talked about Torrey and Reggie Wayne. The only other one on here, not sure about him. Ken Anderson, Bengals quarterback.
No,
not on here.
Great quarterback, but no.
I like how we've just moved on from Phil Simms too. Like the league itself has just said, you know what, we're not even going to include you anymore, Phil.
He's on this list. He's way lower. Pat Swilling.
Do you know that he went 22 for 25 in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, there's only one person who thinks Phil Simms should be in the Hall of Fame.
And that's Phil.
It's not even Chris.
Not even
it's not Chris.
Joe Theismann. Joe Theismann's not in the Hall of Fame.
Nor should he be.
Yeah, no, that's
won a Super Bowl. Right?
So did Jim McMahon.
So did Brad Johnson.
So did Trent Dilfer.
He's better than some of those guys. All right.
I wouldn't.
Who do we put in? I completely forgot. Who do we put in?
Some
Steve
dudes.
Tasker, Daryl Talley, Ed Washington,
Mark Kelso,
Cornelius Bennett,
Mark Navarro,
Jamie Mueller.
Pat, I love Jamie Mueller. Pat Swilling is one that I would be willing to have the debate on because he was an extraordinarily good player, and then he came back with the Raiders and was still an extraordinarily good player. And
that dude,
he was sort of the first. He was sort of the first tweener, 3-4 defensive end outside linebacker. Like he was Terrell Suggs before there was such a thing.
He was edge before, that's
and he was part of the whatever they called themselves, the Dome Patrol.
Oh yeah.
He was part of the Dome Patrol with Ricky Jackson and Sam Mills, and yet Ricky Jackson is in, which is a head scratcher.
Sam Mills
isn't.
Yeah. I think he gets in, but he's a senior committee guy. Like he's not going to get at this point with the modern the competition. He's not going to get in over some of these other guys, but a senior committee team will eventually get him in as they should.
Somebody who's faster on the internet than me. How many sacks does he have?
Pat Swilling sacks?
Yeah. 4. Is he over 100?
Hold on.
4.
107.5.
Yeah.
He's in the top 20 in sacks.
Have you ever actually looked at the sack list The one that number 5 on the sack list is always one of those guys that nobody thinks about until you're like, oh yeah, he played for 1,000,000 years.
Who's that?
Chris Dolman is number 5.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like 150 career sacks.
Yep.
Yeah, he was around forever.
And he was very good for his entire career.
Let me pull up the sacks list.
Check out them sacks.
Who's number 1?
Can even
Mark, who's number 1?
Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce Smith, 200 sacks. Because he played him.
So
he hung on for some years at the end.
Yes, he did. I actually saw something, and it was an interesting Reddit debate where they said, all right, as your team currently stands right now, if you could bring one player back who played for your team in their prime to add to this year's current squad, who would you pick? And for Bills fan, it's Bruce Smith. Like Bruce Smith, 92 Bruce Smith. Holy shit. Like that would be amazing. But I'm curious what you guys think about your own teams. Like who would you bring back?
Bo Jackson.
It gotta be Bo. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Easy. Probably
Steve Smith. I'd love for the answer to be Joe Montana, but it's not. It's Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Jerry's the best player of all time.
Jerry's the answer. Like as much as I want it to be Joe, Joe's arm strength in this league just wouldn't cut it anymore. I don't think. Jerry Rice would be good potentially if you put him in the league now in his, in his 60s. Yeah. Jerry Rice is the most ridiculous. He's the best player of all time. Potentially,
he'd lead the league in receptions every year.
And we've probably talked about this before. Like to me, and I understand football is tough to gauge because the positions are so different. They do different things. But to me, Jerry Rice is the greatest football player of all time because the distance between him and the guy below him is a greater gap than any other position group. Yeah. Like he's Wayne Gretzky ahead of everybody else.
Exactly what I was going to say. It's like when you look at Gretzky's numbers and you realize
NFL had a player logo, it should be Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Jerry has, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure he has 7,000 more yards receiving than anyone else.
It's ridiculous.
Like the next guy in line, he has 7,000 more yards than that guy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. If I could bring anybody back, it would be probably Steve Smith because he's the best player we've ever had. But Julius Peppers is a close second.
I was going to say Tim Biakabatuka, but a man can
dream. I also love Jake Delhomme. Love that guy.
You would like to have Jake Delhomme right now, I'm sure.
Oh my God!
Look, Jerry
and the idea that Joe Montana wouldn't be good in today's NFL? Are you kidding me? He'd be fucking ripping it up with his timing.
He'd be above the Orton line.
He'd be above the Orton line.
Fuck you, Drew.
At 15, he'd be above the Orton line.
He would die at some point. He would be injured again.
Just looking at Jerry Rice quickly, he has almost 23,000 yards receiving.
Yeah. And nobody else has
even touchdowns.
That's insane.
197.
I mean, that one season, I pointed this out before, that one season where he played, 11 games and he had 22 touchdowns?
Yes.
That was 12. 12. So the 87 season, he played 12 games. 12. And he had 22 touchdowns.
Oh, my God.
And there's like a YouTube clip
65
of that.
receptions. So, in other words, Jerry Rice caught a touchdown once every 3 times he caught the ball.
There were several games where he had 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
And what's like amazing is even when he left the Niners, he was still very productive. Like
he was a great Raider.
Yeah, right.
For the Raiders, he had his first season with the Raiders, he had 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns, 1,200 yards and 7, 869 and 2, and then it fell off a cliff.
Then it falls off.
Then he played for the Seahawks or something.
But
right?
Again, that was 18 years into his career.
But also he missed an entire season, didn't he? Like we're talking about, he has 22,000 yards.
Yeah. 97.
He missed the entire 97 season.
Well, he played 2 games and had a touchdown.
Remember, right around the time that he came to the Raiders after that 97 season, he was thought of as kind of functionally dead.
Right.
Like the Niners were using him as their third wide receiver behind Owens and freaking JJ Stokes. And then he went to the Raiders and found himself again with Rich Gannon.
Yeah. Wow. I love talking about the Hall of Fame. All right. So who's in? Did we decide that?
No.
All right. Jared Allen, Steve Smith, Torrey Holt.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of dudes that we like personally.
Yeah, one last thing, and I'll stop talking about Jerry Rice. Had 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the first Super Bowl, he caught the 88 game against Cincinnati. He had 11 receptions for 215 yards.
Yep.
Oh, don't pile on Cincinnati. We'll be doing that later.
7 for 148, 10 for 149.
He's the entire reason John Taylor had a career because the guy was wide open every fucking
Love
play.
John Taylor.
Me too.
He's constantly wide open.
And Ronaldo Nehemiah.
All right.
Brett Jones.
All right. Category time.
Oh, yeah, the show.
Yeah, the show. We had a lot of fun doing that. All right. First category. The Bills. You did it. You did it for us. Mark, you ended the Chiefs' undefeated season. Bills on top with a great Josh Allen run, a signature Josh Allen run to put the cherry on top there. Well done by you.
Well, got to do it in the playoffs, but
typical.
I'm a trend.
Yeah, they are handling this win though. This is a little bit different though because a lot of other times, at least post game, the Bills were very excitable that they beat the Chiefs, and it was very much like, well, on to the next. And I like that. They don't have that attitude much. That's what you need. So
I really think that game showed sort of the maturity and really the poise of Josh Allen.
Yeah,
Allen played a great game, and Allen just is like, "F it, I'm going to do it myself."
It's only
and
3
when he got his shoulders and he won them that game.
Yep.
I feel extraordinarily bad for whoever the Chiefs' next opponent is because
You know.
they are. Andy Reid is going to come out pissed.
You know
and
who it
just
is, right? You know who it
smoke
is.
Somebody. I don't know who it is.
Look it up right now. No, nobody's
I'm
saying
doing
anything. Drew, I want you to look it up.
Oh, is it the Panthers? The way Ryan's
Yes!
shaking his head.
Why are you doing that?
Well,
Chuba Hubbard.
They're
Come
going
on,
to
baby.
Detroit on their ass. They're going to lose
Jalen
by
Coker.
100.
listen, look at it this way. According to the multi-universe theory, there's an infinite number of possibilities that exist in the future, right? There's not one of them where the Panthers were going to win that game anyway. So really, for you, nothing's changed.
Right. The Bills just took
Except
that
for-
hornet's nest, shook it, and then threw it into your
Yeah.
house and ran
Threw
away.
that grenade into the
They
neighbor's
threw the
yard.
grenade in my house, and then the other problem is my son is a Chiefs fan, so I'm going to have to deal with that all day.
No. Here's what happens.
I'm
that,
working. I actually booked myself to work, so I won't even be here.
and you leave your kid chores to do, so he doesn't get to watch the game either.
Right,
He
exactly.
won't
Right,
watch
right,
it.
PR.
He'll just troll me. I'll just troll
Well, hey, you know what's funny? I'm the reason you eat.
me. You like those mac and cheese cups?
Do I need to?
Yeah.
Do I need to come down there and dunk on him again?
I had to raise the hoop to 10 feet. So
I think I can still do it at 10.
can you do 10?
I can do it at 10.
All right. Yeah, you got to come dunk on him.
Wait,
all right,
dunk
anything
on a
else?
regulation hoop?
Pretty damn close.
I was gonna say, let's not graze over that conversation.
He
I'm
did
pretty-
come in and dunk on my, and my son was, I don't know if we talked about this. He came in, he was over here and dunked and just like flexed in front of Joe. And he was like, ugh. He was like
Look,
taken aback.
I had to stunt on him so he knew his place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Chill and stunt, maintain it. Okay. Any other Bills takes? We're good. You're happy?
I'm happy they're on a bye. I'm happy they're going to get healthy. I'm happy Matt Milano's coming back. That is, I think, a very nobody's talking about that as a huge addition to this second half of the season. But the Cookie Monster's coming back, so I'm very happy about that. We'll see if he hasn't played in 421 days, so we'll see how he
He'll be
does.
fine.
So,
A little rusty.
a little
He'll be
rusty. He will be on a limited snap count, but just
Neither
having him back in the
because,
field is
you know,
huge.
only because I'm always good for an off-topic NBA reference. Neither has Kawhi Leonard. So really,
Right.
My God, Kawhi. Oh, Kawhi. Unfortunately, it wasn't all sunshine and farts and rainbows for you because the Marks
Yeah.
Commanders took a loss to the Eagles.
There's some cracks in this armor. That's all I'm saying. They got to.
4
there's-
losses now.
Yeah.
boy, I understand that they got here probably in some degree because they traded all their guys on defense and got worse. But boy, how much are they sweating trading all those guys on defense last
know.
year?
Oh my God. The offense still looks good though. I mean, and sometimes
Yes.
that's all you need at least to
Yeah.
get to the playoffs.
If they
but-
had, I still think if they had traded, who was the DN that went to the Niners? That
Chase
was
Young.
okay.
yeah.
You trade Chase Young, I think that has panned out okay. He's iffy. Sweat is the problem. Trading Sweat
Yeah.
to Chicago was the problem.
Yeah.
But
I mean, losing a division game, that sucks because that's going to come back and haunt them. So
yeah, Eagles are good. Saquon's good.
Eagles are good. For all that we bag on the Eagles are good, man.
Mm-hmm.
They should be undefeated. It's their coach's fault. Yeah.
Right? Yes.
This might be the best win percentage team to fire a coach at the end of the year when they eventually melt down.
There's always a surprise.
The bagged Schottenheimer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's always a surprise firing, man, and I'm always on the Eagles as the team.
Again, all it takes is one nuclear meltdown in the playoff, and it's
right.
over.
Right. Or like a one and done. If you're one and done, I think he's gone. I think you've got to fire him. Yeah.
Next category is stupid, because the stupid Seahawks beat the 49ers. We don't have a 49ers ballot, but boy, we might need one, because he's just out. I said we need to check on Mike, and he's like, I didn't even watch the game, thankfully.
Fine. Everything's fine. As I said before we came on the air, I am happy that I'm now freed from giving a rat's ass about this season. Whatever happens, happens. I've said before, this is their snake bit season post Super Bowl, and I think that's proving out to be true. I will say that their entire
oh my god,
physical training and medical staff should be put under a rocket and launched into the sun.
What's crazy is all the injuries are like minor lingering ones, but those are the worst ones. Like it's not like I broke my leg.
It's some sort of piss poor conditioning or something else. Like I don't know what this team has been snake bit by, like namby-pamby bullshit injuries
soft
for
tissue
years.
Shit. Like hamstrings and shoulders and
See also Leonard, Kawhi.
Exactly. So
we're gonna owe him money if you keep talking about it.
It's gonna come for it.
Terrible loss. Mediocre team. Like they're 5-5 and they're at the bottom of their division.
You lost to the stupid Seahawks, which is
hold up. Part. Bottom of the division, you're a game out of first.
No, they're not, Mark. They're 2 or 3 games out of first now.
The West.
Yeah.
I'm looking that up.
Cards are in first, right?
Cards are 6-4. All right, fine.
They're game out.
You're 5-5.
But they've lost 3 divisional games.
I understand.
That's not good.
But
this is a very bad loss.
A terrible loss.
To the Seahawks. This is a bad loss.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the night. I'm looking at it now. Their point differential in is plus 28.
Right.
Okay.
What's everybody else?
Seahawks -8. Rams -26. Arizona Cardinals plus 18. They're 10 points better than the Cardinals, and they still can't freaking take the division.
But that point differential usually balances out in the end. It's very rare to not have that end up being like the final standings. I think you're fine. So the injuries are worrisome because, like I said, it's not like, oh, I broke my arm, I got to be out for 8 weeks, and then I get it repaired and I'm back. It's like little shit that keeps like 1 week Purdy will play, or not Purdy, but
it's every
season, in and out.
Every season for like the last 5 years, it's been like this.
Right. Like Kittle will play this week, and then he'll be out 3 weeks, and then he'll be in, and then he'll be out. And
but I don't think their schedule is not forgiving. It's Packers, Bills, Bears. That's not a great game. Rams, Dolphins, Lions, Cardinals. There's potentially 3 more losses there.
Yeah, but like in the West, that's enough to win. I still think you can win that division with that.
With 8 losses and 3 losses in the division? I don't think so.
This is the same division where famously the Seahawks were 7-9 and won the division and then beat the Saints on the beast mode touchdown. It can happen.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen.
I'm glad you guys have more faith in it because we're at Packers than at.
I have to now that you don't. See, this is my role now. I'm the ombudsman for Mike's 49ers hate.
Look, at the end of the day, we're going to hire Chip Kelly again.
Oh, it could be worse. You could be the Panthers. You have all our players anyway. So.
But here's the thing, though. I will say
all our good guys.
Yes, Ryan. It is difficult to be a Panthers fan right now. But at least you didn't enter this season with the expectation of winning. Like you just
said it might be okay, and it wasn't. That's not correct.
Okay would have been like 6 wins. Like you knew they wouldn't be good.
Yes, I would have taken 6 wins. Correct. And been happy.
It's worse it's worse when your team has been like on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl like 3 times in the last 5 years, and they keep losing to Kermit the fucking Frog.
Mike,
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Yeah, Mike, you're not making this.
Mark, you and I understand each other.
At least you get there.
Mike, you're not making this better. You're looking at a Raiders fan and a Carolina Panthers fan, and you're like, you serfs should be happy with your 6 wins. I'm supposed to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I thought that was clear.
Am I gonna have to come up with a pod and long Magna Carta? Like, what's gonna happen now?
Look, my team is our winners. Okay, we won 5. We deserve more.
You enjoy your 6 wins.
You serves. I do think
you
they'll
got
be
it.
okay.
I protect you. I gave you a percentage of land. Enjoy it.
They're going to win one of those 3 games that you mentioned that you think they're going to lose. They're going to win one of those. They're going to beat the Bills. They're going to either beat the Lions. Who's the other one? Packers. I think that's this week. I think they could win that one.
I think the Packers game is winnable.
Yeah.
Bills is going to be a very tough because it's in Buffalo too. Night game in Buffalo. That's bad news. Bears.
So many dildos.
At Dolphins, they suck.
Yeah,
but they got to play the Cardinals again too. Like that Cardinal. I mean, it literally could come down to week 34, whatever the hell the season ends now.
Oh, don't give the NFL a hard on. That's exactly what they want.
Oh
God! Prime time. Make it in Brazil.
Oh God! All right.
I'm not totally out, but I also in my head have realized like I don't have to worry about winning the Super Bowl. Like that's nice.
Okay. All right.
They beat the Bills and coming back here and talking shit. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna happen.
That's mark that down.
Look. I don't personally ride roller coasters. They make me sick. My sports fandom is a roller coaster. I almost showed up wearing my David Ortiz t-shirt saying, well, it's almost baseball season.
Oh my God. All right, category. What? The Saints are back and they kill the Browns.
Saints
what the fuck?
Somehow the Saints have returned.
Somehow.
And really, in what should have been the Jameis Winston revenge game.
Yeah, revenge game. Somehow.
And like Palpatine, we were all befuddled how it happened too.
The Saints have returned.
That was so just dropped it perfect.
Just a straight. Just a double right down the center field line.
McCarron from Step by Step.
Oh, you are. You're just nailing them. Okay. I have a fantasy thing that's funny to me. I needed a tight end, so I went to the tight end.
This is going somewhere.
I have a foot fetish. No.
Rex.
Oiled up tight ends?
Soon to be returned, Rex Ryan.
I'm not going to go into detail. Just know that I was involved in a production recently where there was discussion in the control room about whether owls wear garters or not.
Okay. Wow. Anyway, I needed a tight end. I'm like, I'll pick up Taysom Hill. Why not? He's a tight end, technically. When he ran for that 3rd touchdown, the 75-yard touchdown, I was just legit audibly laughing my ass off as I scored 177 points, which is a lot.
How does he not qualify as a quarterback in your like 40 quarterback league or whatever the hell you
doesn't? But I was laughing so hard and the windows were open. I'm like, everyone must hear me laughing right now because it's just hysterical that he's doing this. What happened to the Browns defense? Where did they go? They were supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I ain't nowhere tired. They're tired. That
Marquez Valdez-Scantling is good now. What is going on?
My God.
Okay,
I'm going to piggyback this off on something I read. I forgot about the Bills game. So Amari Cooper got interviewed after the Bills game, and he said winning was the first time he felt joy in like 12 years, which is depressing state of the Browns. That statement is.
Remember when the 49ers were going to trade Ayuk for Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper said, "Please," on Twitter, "Please do it."
Listen, I can't blame Amari. This guy went from Alabama to Raiders, Cowboys, Browns.
Right.
My man was sliding through levels of hell with alacrity. It was time to pull him out.
He's in heaven now. All right. Well,
Buffalo,
Jameis.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's pretty close.
go to the Applebee's.
yeah,
As north as you can get. God, what happened to Jameis Winston here? Like, this guy, he's actually a competent quarterback. Like, he can get the ball downfield. It's just he's bath salts.
Yeah, he almost had 400 yards in this game.
I mean,
and
it's
they
not his
lost by, like,
fault.
3 touchdowns.
It's not his fault. It's the damn defense. Can't stop Taysom Hill's 34-year-old corpse running for 75-yard touchdowns.
We talked about this.
Electric Taysom Hill.
I don't think the Browns coaching staff is going to survive.
No,
No.
they're
I
done.
think this is it. Like, and some of it is once again not their fault, but like, I can't imagine them getting through this.
They're dead. What was the Broncos dismantling the Falcons? Ever since Drew said Kirk Cousins
I know.
is cooking, he has not cooked. They have been a disaster ever since you said that.
Is it time to come to the realization that the Broncos might be decent?
Yeah.
Like
they're
their
decent.
defense is real good, and if Bo doesn't turn the ball over, which he hasn't been, all of a sudden they look like they could play spoiler.
I'm gonna do you one better. I think Bo Nix is the offensive rookie of the year over Jaden Daniels at this point. Jaden Daniels has fallen off the last couple of weeks, and Bo has really, been consistent and improved every single week.
Consistently, mediocre.
4 touchdowns.
He's not killing them.
Yeah.
Robo.
I mean, there's still a lot of games to be played. I'm not with you yet, but I could see that as a possible future.
Yeah.
Unlike the Panthers beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's not happening. Here's a question. How wrong were we on Bo Nix? We were the number one most haters. Are we officially ready to say we were wrong on Bo Nix, or are we still need time?
I am.
Yeah, me too.
Hands up. Because you know what? Like, if nothing else, this is a pure testament to what we always talk about, that the NFL has no patience for anything at all.
Yeah.
And, the Broncos showed a little bit of patience, and they might get rewarded for it.
Sean Payton's his coach. As much as I hate that fucking guy, and I'd like to hit him with a baseball bat as well. He's a good coach, so maybe he was right all along. Maybe we were wrong about Bo Nix.
Here's the thing. I still think this team is one and done in the playoffs, but I think
they're not winning a game in the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Unless they played the Eagles somehow. I could see them beating the Eagles. Yeah. I think we got to think about being wrong on Bo Nix. That's kind of crazy.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of crazy.
And boy, of all the first round picks, he might have been the one I was the lowest on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
maybe JJ McCarthy. I was really
low.
Well,
okay,
JJ.
JJ. You forget about JJ because he's not playing.
I was very low on him, but Bo Nix, I'll tell you what though, like even the games that they've lost, like he's put up a fight. Like the Broncos have been in these games, so
absolutely,
yeah. I mean, honestly, looking at the AFC, I just glanced at it before we started the show. There's like the top 6 are kind of already set. Like in what order, obviously could change, but it's going to be Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Steelers, Texans, Broncos, and then you have. I mean, actually, you could even say Chargers, Broncos. You could say the whole
Chargers
AFC is pretty much done. So the Broncos, I guess, are the 7th, but I think they're a solid 7. I think they have it. Who else is going to take it from the Colts?
No.
Dolphins?
Don't see it.
Don't
see it. All right.
Caleb's dead. It's gonna be so sad.
He's going to be sad because the Bears lost on a blocked field goal. Oh, boy.
What did I saw a stat that said, like, the NFL has seen 4 games ending with a blocked field goal in the last 60 years, and 2 of them happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And there's so much about that blocked field goal, right? Because on the one hand, everybody's like, oh, they allowed too much time. Like, they could have run another play and tried to get closer. And it's like, well, listen, the field goal got blocked. Like, credit the big guy who gets through and blocks it. He makes a great play. That's a perfectly makeable field goal. But then everybody's like, well, the NFL shouldn't have allowed it because there were 2 guys over the top of the long snapper and all this other stuff. Like, there's multiple layers to this. But at its base, I know everybody wants to say, oh, they mismanaged the clock and they could have run another play. But, like, they were in position for a makeable field goal. And then a dude made a play.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Packers did not look great in that game.
No, they did not.
They didn't
at all. And I think that's the weird thing about the Bears. Like, the Bears seem like there are a couple of pieces in place, and they can occasionally make the right setup and decision, but it's just so maddeningly inconsistent. Like they have a positive point differential, and they're 4-6.
This is 2 really bad last minute losses though, because they lost on the Hail Mary too.
On the Hail Mary to Washington, yeah.
So I mean, you figure that
God, I
you
forgot about
figure besides 2 sort of catastrophic last minute things,
He's
they're 6-4.
Yeah.
You know, that NFC North is a really good. That's a solid division.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
They fired Shane Waldron. It seemed to be a little bit better.
Did they try to fire Eberflus and he didn't know who he was?
Yeah, I think they might be looking for.
That's how there's. That's why they didn't. That's why they didn't run that. That's why they didn't run one more play with the clock winding down, because the signals got crossed and the headset went to one of the doubles.
Yeah, too many Eberfluses. Too many Eberfluses. He's getting fired, right?
Yeah.
What do you call a group of Eberfluses?
Aberfly.
An incompetence of Eberfluses?
Aberfly.
A Kotite?
Kotite of I love that.
Kotite.
Well done.
Another one right up the middle.
Has done wonders for you.
Killing it tonight. All right. The next category is crush. The Lions crush the Jaguars, and they keep piling it on, and it is hysterical. Why? I don't know.
Did Doug Peterson not get fired immediately after this game?
Right. He's still
even
there.
By 1,000.
Yeah.
Even Doug said, I don't know. They're probably going to fire me.
He did a press conference, and he was shocked that he was there. And then he did another one. He's like, I guess
I'm not fired.
They're not doing anything, so...
I mean, let's be honest. His Mac Jones is his quarterback the last 2 games. What is he supposed to do? Mac Jones stinks.
Oh, he's horrible.
He stinks. Oh my God. I don't know if maybe he had something and lost all of it, but God, he sucks.
No, he never. Had it.
I mean, he had it in Alabama. So did
a lot of guys.
So did Bryce Young. All right. Well, the Lions crush.
Guys, that Lions team has put up 42, 52, and 52 points this season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
they're the lowest. The lowest they've ever scored is 20.
It's the first time I can think of that I'm excited to watch the Lions on Thanksgiving. So even last year,
they're going to kill the Bears.
Oh yeah,
they're going to actually destroy the Bears.
Yeah.
We made fun of way back. We made fun of the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, but my goodness, is that guy the fastest human being on the field?
No, yeah.
That one run where someone barely shoestring tripped him,
is
insane how fast he was going.
And listen, people are ragging on him for running up the score. Stop him.
Fuck it. Stop us.
Stop him.
If they're the Lions, haven't they suffered enough?
Yeah.
Stop us. Okay. Next category is Poochie. Emphasis on the poo. The Colts bring back Anthony Richardson.
Paul Barrett is asked.
Our Jake's taken. You need to bring back our 40% back Anthony. He's back. He has the earn power now.
I like Paul Bearer, Anthony Richardson.
It's so dumb. It makes no sense. Anthony Richardson shows back up like the Undertaker with the light. The lights go out. It's Anthony Richardson's music.
Is he the gray gloved Undertaker or the purple gloved one?
Purple,
I get confused.
Purple because he came back.
Purple?
So he's purple.
Right,
Yeah.
It
also now takes him 30 minutes to do his entrance.
Wait, doesn't that mean he's going to come out to Kid Rock and drive a motorcycle?
Yeah, eventually, at the end of his career, he will. He will.
That is the trajectory America's looking for.
Yeah, he will be an American badass. Wow. The Jets losing this game is just, what are you doing? And then they fire their general manager, who's maybe the best drafter in the entire league.
He's made some bad free agency moves. I will say
that.
But
never sign a free agent.
See Rodgers, Aaron.
Yeah, right.
Apparently, ESPN had a story out. I think it was today that apparently Ambassador Woody Johnson allegedly thought about benching Aaron Rodgers back in September.
For what? Why?
Oh my God.
Ty God. Oh, we gonna see some Ty God.
What they want.
There ain't no way no way Aaron Rodgers finishes this season now. It's
No
definitely
chance.
going to be Ty God time.
No
I
chance.
would say
After
within
the
3
story,
weeks.
is there any
Oh, yeah.
chance he plays again for this
3
team?
weeks. He's at
under
maximum
contract?
3 weeks, and then he's done. He's going to injure himself. Watch.
My left hammer quad is injured.
got
I'm
it.
out for the year.
You got it.
Just the left one though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right one's fine.
Hammer quad string.
Or he's going to go on another one of those Ayu Hasa retreats and just not come back.
I mean, there's a really good chance this is it. Like he doesn't play again for them because of this story.
I wouldn't.
Sorry, Mike. When you said that, I'm just picturing the Simpsons gag where Ozzie Smith falls into like a hole to nowhere. Just Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You're a space coyote.
When you Woody Johnson needs to suck a bag of Woody Johnsons.
Ambassador Woody Johnson.
When
Please.
you are the one who's getting this guy in there, and then you're like, GM, it's your fault.
He's crazy.
Look,
He's
Jets fans have one hope that once again Woody Johnson will be selected to be an ambassador by the Trump administration
Mhm.
and sent to some other place.
Yeah.
Send him to a third world country. is
I
what
hear
Jets fans want.
I hear Rangoon is nice this time of year.
Where can we send this guy? Oh, God.
When you said their only hope, I thought you were talking about the March for Arch, which the Giants and Jets will be embarking on very shortly.
They
Are you
will.
suggesting that Woody Johnson should take a holiday in Cambodia?
Yeah, a one-way ticket to Thailand for Woody.
It's against the law to jump off this bridge.
You just have to kill yourself somewhere else.
Well, I don't think the Colts are much. They need to be made fun of too, but
They are not
boy,
good.
oh boy.
Oh,
I heard
dear.
Michael Lombardi, who I don't always agree with, former GM, say something like Shane Steichen doesn't know how to coach this team because his offense is never different. When you have Anthony Richardson in, it's the exact same as when Joe Flacco's in, and that's a problem because Richardson's a bigger Cam Newton and should just be running people over all the time and be on the move. But yeah, wow.
Are you doubting the mobility of elite Joe Flacco?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
poor Joe.
hey, Joe.
He's statuesque.
This is good as time as any to clown on the other New York franchise. Is the Giants had a bye week and decided to get rid of Danny Dimes and put in Tommy Cutlets.
Woo! It's going to be right over Drew Lock.
What the fuck? I was so angry. I wanted it back. Why are you not putting Drew Lock in?
But no, look this way. Drew Lock
Seriously.
is still the number 2. They moved Danny Jones. They moved Danny Jones to the 3.
He's 4. He's behind
He's 4.
whoever's.
Yeah, he's 4 now.
He's 4.
This
Yeah,
morning
he's
they
4.
said he's 4. Yeah.
Oh my god!
He won't suit up for the game.
Yeah.
He's being Russell Wilson. That's what's happening.
Did you see the clip of the Giants GM? Like they were like sitting in his office with his family,
Yeah.
and like his
Yeah,
12-year-old son's like, "Take Jaden Daniels, Dad. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna be good. Take Jaden Daniels." And the girl's like, "No, draft this guy because he's cute." And like his 12-year-old son is a better GM than he
his
is.
son is a better GM than him.
He's
Yeah.
so gone. He is so gone. This whole team,
The
Dayball's
kid's
gone.
response was,
everybody's
"Dad, you only get this job once. Go for
gone.
it."
Right.
And he's like,
He would have had to have traded up to get Jaden Daniels. To be fair, he would have had to move up.
do it.
Let me be the first to say from the bottom of my heart, Jaeger bomb. Jaeger bomb. Jaeger bomb. Not now, Chief. I'm in the fucking zone.
I know they probably got
Yeah, you
rid of
know.
him, but I hope he has that mafioso agent hanging out the
Oh,
side.
He
God,
better be
I
back.
hope so. He has to.
Please be back. Please be back.
At least they're
Why?
interesting.
And
Give me an
all 4 of us might actually willingly watch a Giants game this week.
And by the way, the Giants are now a mortal lock to win this weekend.
Yeah.
And
Please.
whatever happens after that, I have no clue. But I would bet my life savings on the Giants this weekend.
Mhm.
Please give me a reasonable explanation as to why Drew Lock was passed over from Tommy Cutlets.
Money.
Give
'cause
me
it's
sucks.
100% money. He's paid. He has incentives. And I tell you who doesn't have incentive, Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy?
Yes.
Yes.
So
that's-
This
they
is
don't
a
wanna pay
money.
him.
That's true.
It's a money thing.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right,
money thing.
it's a money thing because Drew Lock is a better quarterback than Tommy Cutlets, right?
Yeah. They
Or
asked Drew
line-
Lock.
Come on,
They asked Drew Lock in.
He was
the
very
locker
mad.
room. He was pissed. I was like,
he was pissed.
okay. Yeah. He's like,
He's
I was
been the
running
number
to be
2
a backup.
quarterback all year.
Right. Now I'm.
I would
should
be
the number
pissed.
1. Yeah.
Speaking of pissed, the sorry ass Titans. Oh my god,
They're bad.
this Titans team is really bad.
Will Levis though.
No. Stop.
One throw, he had one good throw, and the rest of the game he was horrible. Even he, when he came to the sideline after the one good throw, had the look of shock of like, I can't believe I just did that.
It's because he's a good boy.
When the second throw when he threw it to Westbrook Akine, I'm sorry, the second touchdown where it was just a blown coverage. He came back and was like, yeah, I didn't really have anything to do with that.
What did we say at the start of the season, Mark? Don't reward bad behavior.
Yeah, you were the proponent of that, Mark.
Listen, I'm just
The
saying.
Vikings won.
Yes,
Vikings
the
win again.
Mark, does Will Levis have some photos that we need to know about?
That you
No
need to know
photos.
about? No.
You don't need to know about them.
I don't
Ask
see 'em.
Flamingo.
I
You've
just know
seen
they
them.
exist.
You've seen him.
Oh yeah, good point.
You've seen them. All right, the hat is backwards because the Dolphins beat the Raiders. Go ahead.
Max Crosby is good. Brock Bowers is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cede my time.
Holy shit. Brock Bowers is really fucking
Really
good.
good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about this game is that Pierce is supposed to be this defensive guy, and their defense was fucking awful in this game.
They suck.
Yeah.
Their defense was awful.
What
and
do
like
you think?
penalties and stuff, awful.
What do you think, Drew, of the rumor? I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
I don't.
That Dion is going to be your next head coach and bring Shadir to Vegas.
Won't happen.
You don't think so?
Won't happen. Because
Okay.
right now, Dion is God at Colorado.
Yeah.
He is God.
Yeah.
He has no impetus to leave. He hasn't accomplished anything there yet. And he is in a position where if he wanted to leave, he would have his choice of jobs. And the one he's going to choose is not Las Vegas.
You think it's Dallas?
If he were going to go anywhere, I think it would be Dallas over Las Vegas, but I don't think he's going to leave Colorado.
All right.
They can't bring Shadur with him if he's going to Dallas because of that contract now. All right.
That you want to?
Yeah.
Also,
I think he
Shadur
does.
sucks. I know that he's like number one on Mel's board. I wouldn't want any piece of him as an NFL
Oh
quarterback.
God, no.
I'm really glad the Panthers have like the 9th pick right now because they won a third game because they can't be seduced by Shadur. All right. Next category. There's an album I really like called No Jacket Required. This is no touchdowns required because the Steelers win without a touchdown against the Ravens. What is going on?
No,
Mike
man.
Tomlin,
Hold
In
on.
Other things we were colossally
put
wrong
it in the
about.
Louvre.
Hold on. No, at the start of the season, when we were ranking teams, much like
Drew
the
did.
Vikings, I was on the Steelers, and I was like, I trust Mike Tomlin until I
Drew
am
did.
proven wrong. And once again, you peasants overruled me.
Oh, peasants
You
again.
serfs.
The second time.
What did I tell you? Do not distrust Mike Tomlin. He's got the juice now.
I can't believe the record I saw where the Patriots, the Steelers have beaten the Ravens 8 out of 9 times, the last 9 times. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
He just had Conlon
He's got the
had
number.
their
He just knows how to beat them. And they
got
play
their
again
number.
like, soon. Like a couple of weeks, they play again.
I don't know, man.
The
And
Ravens
Russell
are-
wasn't even good in this game. He
No,
was
he
no
wasn't.
good at all.
the Ravens though are painfully inconsistent, and that's
Yeah.
gonna hurt them.
I mean, Zay Flowers
their
dropped
story
a
all season.
wide open third down conversion with the
Yeah.
the game on the line. Derrick Henry fumbled, which he hasn't done in a long time.
Yeah.
Lamar looked bad. Yeah, in the serious games, Lamar doesn't look good.
I know.
I've been saying that for a long time.
And I
He's
think if you're
not.
another team who's playing the Ravens, now you have a formula. Like you just saw how Tomlin took them apart.
Yeah,
It will be interesting to see.
we'll see. Next category is McConkey. The Chargers. Somehow the Chargers made the Bengals Charger, if that makes any sense.
After almost charging, they were really close.
They almost charged themselves, but then the
Yeah.
Bengals charged. McConkey was amazing in this game.
Huge game.
Oh my god!
6 catches, 123 yards receiving, no touchdowns, but on that last drive to take the lead, he was the man. McConkey. What's the episode, McConkey?
This week, McConkey suffers a terrible cold during a long stakeout, and he meets the town's new watchmaker, who's played by Burt Young. New to America, he questions the association he had to pay in order to get protection. Beretta explains to him, it's the bad guys protecting you from the badder guys. It turns out that McConkey had been staking out a diamond thief connected to the same association, and soon the stories connect.
Oh shit! I'm excited.
Soon the stories can end.
I love Burt Young as a special guest.
Burt
That's so
Young.
dead on.
Burt Young.
Yes, absolutely.
Burt Young.
Oh my god, 70s Burt Young.
Conky.
Look, 70s cop shows are so brief
that?
thing about me is that when growing up as a kid, I spent 3 days a week with my grandmother, who was English, and I'd be at her apartment, and she had a fascination with 70s cop shows and Scooby-Doo. So as a young child,
reference in the show.
As a young child, I watched an awful lot of In the Heat of the Night, which is not really normal for like a 7-year-old, but I watched a lot of that. And there's a lot of, wait, isn't that the same guy from All in the Family? Yes. It was great. Awesome. McConkey is that spirit. He is a 70s cop just running wild.
He's so good.
McConkey.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed that they still don't sell like the powder blue t-shirts. Like,
With
how they have all the
McConkey,
player t-shirts. They don't make them in powder blue for McConkey. It's
that sucks.
I do also think it's hilarious that on the same team there is a Matlock.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a Matlock who's a fullback. Matlock is there.
Well, now we know what next season's spinoff is.
Yep. Crossover. This category is now the Rams' permanent category. This is
sorry, I know the Matlock theme still at
Yes. This is the category for the Rams forever and always. Sure. The Rams beat the Patriots. I really don't care about the stupid Rams.
The Rams are going to finish 9-8 or 8-9. Yeah. I call this one right now.
They're Jeff Fishering, and Jeff Fisher's not the coach.
Right? It's the curse of Jeff Fisher.
The curse. He's been there before. The curse of Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
The Patriots are bad. Drake May isn't that bad, I think.
No, he's not.
No, he may not.
Jeff Fisher kind of looks like Paul Bearer with a mullet.
The Patriots just.
I'm fired.
We talk about
my
it every week.
Jared Mayo. Why did you waste all your timeouts already?
Drew, welcome back.
He's okay with Paul Bear.
There's no talent on this team. There's no talent on this Patriots.
Paul Bear.
It's the Rams.
Kendrick Bourne.
All right, maybe there's a limit on Paul Bear.
All right, and just like saying the names because they're so scary. Just say a Patriot player name. It's a frightening thing because they're all so bad. All right, well, that's sure. Falling apart. This is the category. Falling apart from within, from below, and from above. The Cowboys get decimated by the Texans and their stadium's falling apart at the same time. The roof, they decide to open the roof. This is like your shitty grandpa being like, I want to open the window. It doesn't work. I want to open the window. And then it just falls.
It's like, those retractable awnings that from the 70s that like all the old people had. It's one of those. And grandpa's out trying to pull that over and it's held up with bread ties and it just falls off and hits you in the head.
The stadium literally was falling apart before the game. And then Texans, who haven't looked good at all, still didn't look that great, except for Joe Mixon is pretty good, and put the whooping on them.
He was pretty good because he was getting they were just pounding him inside the 5 every time.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
I'm not enthralled with this Texans team, but they're sure better than the Cowboys.
Yeah,
so.
Correct. The stadium is literally falling apart.
Pro Football Talk had a headline and just said the roof is not stable. I thought that was real good.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good. All right, time for broadcasting moments of the week. Start here with Jameson Williams, who's had a rough season, but doing the Marshawn Lynch. Doing the Marshawn Lynch to the poor Jaguars. My guy, Syracuse head coach Fran Brown.
Yep.
Doesn't deserve a shower after a loss. So the CW guy said, enjoy your shower. And he said, I'm about to get washed. Winners get washed, which I'm going to put on my gravestone now.
Like this Syracuse team is fun.
They are
Winners get washed.
Yeah.
Winners get washed. All right. This is Larry Zonka.
There he is.
Having a little brewski after the popping the champagne, maybe after the Chiefs lost.
Oh my god, the 72 Dolphins are like the living personification of Bruce Springsteen's glory days. We can sit at the bar and talk about what they did 11 billion years ago. And yes, I get it. It was it's the Super Bowl, and great job out of them. But fucking Bob Greasy was your quarterback. Just stop it. Just stop all of it.
That's Troy's dad from Final Sacrifice.
Right? Like Mercury Morris, like. Rrr!
Here you go. Tommy DeVito's in. Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, those uniforms are bizarre.
The Canadians' uniforms.
They're great. I love them for how terrible they are.
They're so bad. This is fun. The trash talk in Buffalo was on point. Mahomes eats boneless wings with ranch.
Yeah. Fucking heathen.
Serial killer.
Boneless wings with
You eat a regular
ranch.
wing without any sauce. You just clean it in one swipe, just in your mouth and then out. That's how a true Buffalonian eats a wing. And then you throw it at a Patriots fan.
There you go. This is fun. Hilarious feature of the new NFL kickoff system is that the 12th player can come on to hold the ball, but then has to run off the field before. He has to run away. Before the kick return can happen. Look at this guy go.
Yeah.
The craziest part about that is, like, we all know how obsessive NFL coaches are. Like, they practice that. I'm sure they do. Like, every team knows who their 12th guy is, and then they practice running him off the field.
Perhaps if we built a large wooden badger.
As of today, all 4 FBS teams with owl mascots have fired their coaches. Rice, Temple, Kennesaw State, FAU. Bad day for owls. This is response to a tweet before about Tom Herman that said all 4 coaches are in trouble. 3 of them have been fired, but Tom Herman, chuckle, I'm in danger.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Poor Tom Herman. I like Tom Herman, but it didn't work out for him down there.
I've got a crazy friend who says eating meat is bad.
This is the clip of Monday Night Countdown where the stadium fell over, and Ryan Clark said the bottom done already fell out. The top might as well too.
It's a great line.
Well done by you. This came out today, and this just made me laugh. Why are we doing this? Adam Schefter says he's broken an NFL story after having sex. And he said, I got the job done, Kevin, in every which way. That's just disgusting.
I refuse to believe that Adam Schefter has engaged in coitus.
I'm sorry, but you don't need to put us through that, Adam.
Yeah.
Why are you putting us through that?
Did you see also, by the way,
some men are uncomfortable with the word.
Did you see the CBS pregame show with Cower going through a table?
No.
Yes, I heard that they did. I didn't know it was Cower.
It's pretty fucking good. Like Cower gets some air and goes through a table. So,
by the way,
they had a lot of fun because didn't like Nate Burleson also like give his jacket to a Weird Bills fan?
Only because now
you didn't need to say weird. I got it.
This seems to be the most awkward moment of the show, which makes this the most appropriate time. Oiled up Rob Ryan.
No, come on, no. I once defensive coordinated after coitus.
Man.
Rob Ryan doesn't know the word coitus.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say that neither one of us could find the end zone.
Yeah. And if he did know that word, that's not the word he would use to describe that act.
I know, but I think it's funny for him to use it. Now, where's the jelly? I don't even know what he sounds like.
My safety word was safety.
Oiled up Rob Ryan. Hopefully old Mike Penix will return. Hopefully he'll get in a game again. Kirk is on his way.
I was 29 years old the last time I played football.
All right. Football, or I'm sorry, Stripe Spiral time. Stripe Spiral. It's 2 weeks of information.
It is, and we're actually not going to talk about games all that much. We're going to begin by pouring one out for our boy Biff at the University of Charlotte, which is a confusing move for me, only because I understand the team wasn't getting any better, but who do they think they are exactly?
Right.
And who are they going to get that has more personality than Biff? We talked about the 4 Owl teams all firing their coach. The one that mystifies me is Kennesaw State, because it's your first season in the FBS, and you beat Liberty. What exactly did you expect? Like, where did you think you were going to go? It's not like Kennesaw State was like JMU or App State or North Dakota State. Like, they were not a perennial FCS powerhouse. And then on top of that, I haven't verified, but I heard that the Kennesaw State head coaching job was up on like Indeed.com for a little while.
Oh my God. Oh shit, we could have applied.
I should have applied.
Yeah,
4 head
they
coaches.
have to at least interview me.
But really, we're going to spend most of our time talking about the committee's rankings that just came out last night, because I admit I don't quite get it. I don't understand their thought process. So there's only 2, as we always begin. There's only one. There's only one team that has yet to win a game, which is Kent State, and it ain't looking good for them. And there's only 3 undefeated teams left. After this weekend, there was only guaranteed to be 1, because 2 of them are playing each other. Ohio State plays Indiana this weekend. That's the big game of the weekend. There's some other sneaky good games on the slate. Don't overlook Penn State, Minnesota. Minnesota's something of a giant killer in that conference. It would not shock me if they took down Penn State, especially because Penn State's on the road. But Army is the only other undefeated team in the country, as we know. And Army's ranked 19th. So there's this general consensus that the committee is sort of baking into Army the value of them preemptively losing to Notre Dame. Like, everybody assumes that Notre Dame is going to beat Army this weekend.
Nope.
And so that's why Army's not rated higher. But if that's the case, then why is Indiana number 5? Why have you not baked in that they're going to get their doors blown off by Ohio State this weekend? Indiana has played 1 team with a winning record this year. Their strength of schedule is 106th out of 134. Like, and I'm not knocking Indiana. Beat who you beat. Like, it's been a tremendous season for them. But does anybody think they're going to beat Ohio State? I mean, listen, crazier things have happened, but I certainly don't think so. So why does the committee penalize Army for not yet losing to Notre Dame, but then not penalize Indiana for not yet losing to Ohio State? And at the same time, take the case of BYU. Okay, BYU loses. BYU falls 9 spots or 8 spots to number 14. And now they would be, the way the bracket is set up, Boise State would get the last of the first round buys. BYU would end up being like the 12 seed or whatever. And I don't understand that either. Boise State is getting an awful lot of credit for their best game being a loss. Like, they took number 1, they took Oregon to the brink. They almost beat Oregon. But their best actual win, they have 2 wins over teams that at any point have been ranked in the top 25, which is UNLV, who got into the rankings this weekend as number 24, and Washington State, who was number 25. Those are their 2 best wins, whereas BYU beat SMU, who, oh, by the way, is ahead of them in the rankings. And BYU also beat Kansas State, who until this week was in the rankings when Kansas State has had some tough weeks. They also beat Oklahoma State. They beat a bunch of teams that at the start of the season we thought were good. So why does BYU get penalized? Like, I grant they have a bad loss, but if you want to talk bad losses, Notre Dame is number 6. Notre Dame's got the worst loss of any team in real competition in the country when they lost to Northern Illinois. So, like, I don't understand how this ranking came out this way. I don't understand why BYU is ranked where they are. I don't understand why SMU isn't higher, because, oh, by the way, like, okay, if Miami and SMU played on a neutral site, is Miami better than SMU? Yes, they are. But if you're looking strictly at the conference rankings, SMU's number 1 in the ACC right now. If they didn't play a championship game, which obviously they will, but if they didn't play a championship game, SMU would be the ACC champion, not Miami. So why is SMU 5 spots below Miami? Why is SMU above Boise State or above BYU, even though they lost to BYU? And why are both of them below Boise State? There's a whole bunch going on in this ranking that I don't understand, not the least of which is why is Army 19? God forbid, if Army beats Notre Dame this weekend, which I think is unlikely but not impossible. If Army beats Notre Dame this weekend, they have to end up above Boise, right?
Yeah, right.
Regardless of what happens with Boise. If you're undefeated and you took down the number 6 team in the country, then you can't be ranked at 19. Like, and there's only, they always say, oh, there's a lot more games to be played. There's not. There's only 2 more weeks in the regular season and then champ week.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're starting to get some kind of a picture of what's going to happen here. And of course, if Minnesota beats Penn State this weekend, which I wouldn't put money on, but I don't think is terribly unlikely, then chaos will absolutely explode in the rankings because Penn State will become too lost. They will have to drop out, or at least they would drop down to the bottom, and that opens the door for a bunch of teams like Clemson or Colorado or A&M to try and fight their way back into the rankings. There's a lot going on that I don't quite understand to this point. And there's only, if you count Champ Week, there's only 3 weeks left to sort it out.
All right. Football FUBAR time.
Yep.
You, who do we got?
So I mentioned a few weeks back that like my favorite FUBAR moments in inductions are the moments. Sorry, it's not the careers. It's focusing on something specifically embarrassing. I'm talking about like closet pooping or arranging love boats or strapping fake penises.
Excuse me, Tobin, I had taken the J.
Yes, pinch off in the J. Those are the ones that I really love. Just like in life, that's the backbone of football FUBAR and life in general. So in that spirit, let's do another one of those. Okay, one that involves actually a podcast that went wrong. So today, my friends, we will be inducting Shannon Sharp's sex tape fiasco into football FUBAR.
Not Shannon.
This close to Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
This close.
So for those who don't remember Shannon Sharp as an actual NFL player, he was a tremendous tight end, played for the Denver Broncos, 1990 through 2003. We talk about players hanging around. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champion, NFL Hall of Famer, all-around great guy with tremendous charisma. Sharp was a media darling when he was playing. He often made fun of himself during interviews. He famously referred to himself as Horseface. He put down his own looks whenever he had a chance. He was the king of self-deprecating humor. He once said that he grew up so poor he had to try to rob the robbers who were trying to rob him. His incredibly comfortable in front of a camera, landed a job with NFL Today after he retired, and then started bouncing around some different networks. And recently, around 2021, he started doing a podcast network. He did several podcasts with different co-hosts. He would also go on Instagram Live unannounced, and he would just kind of cut wrestling promos about the stuff of the day and stuff that he liked and stuff that he didn't like. Most notably, and he got in trouble for that, though, because most notably, Brett Favre once sued him for making, quote, defamatory and false charges about Favre's involvement in a $77 million welfare fraud scheme, which Favre said completely untrue. 2 weeks later, the news broke that Brett Favre definitely was involved in that $77 million welfare fraud scheme. So Shannon Sharp is a clairvoyant. So sometimes, however, social media can giveth and it can also take us away. So September of this year, Sharp began an Instagram stream, but followers noticed there was no video for this one, just audio. Audio of Shannon grunting and screaming and grunting and then silence for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So check out the marathon man over here. So Shannon had inadvertently started an Instagram.
He's like 60.
You had to deal with Skip Bayless all those years. I mean, come on, cut the guy a break.
So Shannon had inadvertently started an Instagram live show when he was having sex with his girlfriend. At its peak,
coitus.
Coitus, that's right.
Oh, that's Ryan's favorite word.
At its peak, the broadcast had 3.4 million people listening in. So initially, Sharp claimed he was hacked before finally owning up to it later that evening with some humor. The next night, Sharp hosted a Roast of Shannon Sharp event where the audio was played again, this time with special guests, including Lavelle Crawford, Cam Newton, and Snoop Dogg, all taking shots at him and Sharp's inability to use Instagram. And that, my friends, is how to properly lean into a social media fuck-up and come out looking unscathed on the other side. So Shannon, for being such a good sport, welcome into football FUBAR. There's a seat right over there next to Najee. Just make sure you watch where you sit.
I like that after that happened, instead of just saying, oops.
Where you sit or where you shit.
Careful. Instead of just saying, oops, my bad, and moving on, he did like a 2-hour podcast with Chad Ochocinco about it.
And obviously the man you go to for sound advice.
Chad Ochocinco, unlikely voice of reason.
Also, a podcast that by that measure was roughly, hold on, I can do math, 30 times longer than the actual event.
Yeah. Right.
You could have came on our podcast. It would have been fine.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Why not? You could have talked to this guy.
Think you can tell us what?
He did a sex tape once, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Just one.
They don't call him the 1, 2, 3 kid for nothing.
At least once. He
On
did
our
at
old
least
wrestling
once.
podcast, Killer Greg decided to watch it to take one for the team. And the next episode, he just showed up and just shook his head. And that was how we never talked about it again.
God. Killer Greg. Killer Greg was we were at wrestling over the last week, and boy was he on fire talking about Tua, and I can't repeat any of the things he said. And he was laughing at how ridiculously obscene he was being. Love to
My
ask
wife
him
loves Killer Greg.
off
Oh,
the
It makes it
air.
sound like she could listen to him talk for hours because for some reason he seems to be incredibly verbose and funny about everything.
No, he's great.
He was. And he was laughing at how obscene he was being. All right. Time for Mike's tip of the week. I wonder who it's going to be.
Jared.
Jura.
Is it Woody Johnson or Jerry Jones?
Oh, it's Woody Johnson. In what
I mean,
universe?
Jerry World Stadium fell apart during the
Yeah,
game.
look, Jerry is not a general contractor. I don't put that on Jerry. Jerry didn't install the shower. I'd go with the Jets. Just look, nothing you do is going to fix this. You cannot fix this. It reminds me of a story how, in the Soviet Union, there was this in Soviet Russia.
Russia works you.
There is this enormous. It's called the Gate to Hell because they had some sort of underground oil thing, and one of their solutions was to light something on fire, and so now it is just this perpetually burning hole in the earth for 45 years, and that's kind of the Jets. Is this perpetual burning hole in the earth?
If only Joe Namath would die, and then we could lift
Let's
him.
throw Joe Namath into that pit. That's the only thing that cleanses this.
Let's see how you
have to throw Joe Namath into Mount Doom. Is that what?
It is finished.
Throw it in. No. Susie Culver is actually the one who goes, no.
Oh my God. Okay. All right, sad boy boat. 4 people go on. One of them's Joe Burrow, I think.
Yo, God. Man,
No.
that Corey Dillon shot of him on the bench every week now. It's just
Him walking in the tunnel after throwing a million yards.
bringing
Every
back
time I
so many
see him
memories.
walking, all I can think of is how in Arrested Development, when George Michael would be walking and they played the sad Christmas music from
Yes.
Charlie Brown.
Yes.
That's Joe Burrow leaving the field every week.
Oh,
Yes.
It's sad.
It's now at the point where that Michael Cera one where he lays flat on the ground after he does the walk.
I mean, Jura's got to be on this, right?
Oh, sure.
Jura's got to be here. He's given up on this team. So that's 2.
Joe Douglas.
Oh, there you go. That's
he
great.
might be a happy boy because he's finally out of there.
No, he's it's still embarrassing that he had to go through this. So
You know what Joe Burrow's stats are? They're nuts.
insane.
I know.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
3,000 yards rushing or 3,000 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, only 4 picks.
Yeah.
He's
But his
first in every category that matters. He's 53rd in interceptions. And this team
Doesn't help
is
though when his
bad.
team is horrible. Mike got it though. Daniel Jones has
Daniel
to be
Jones.
fourth.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait,
What about
wait.
Drew Lock? All right,
Just gonna
justice
say
for Drew
Daniel
Lock.
Jones or Drew Lock?
Yeah.
He got passed over. All right, no, it's definitely Daniel Jones.
It's not the way I wanted it.
Oh God, he's down to 4th for Danny Dimes. Boy, is ever a nickname not applied ever?
Mm-hmm.
It just never has applied. Game balls. We get some game balls. Mr. Mike, who are you giving a game ball to?
Why do I have to go first?
All right, Megastar Mark, who are you giving a game ball
I'm going
to?
to steal it. I'm going to steal Mark's. Mine's going to Josh Allen for finally toppling the evil empire and just
Wow.
firing that torpedo into the thermal exhaust port. Just. There it is.
No. Take it from a Mets fan. Do not celebrate prematurely.
Nope.
Do not have Timmy Trumpet come out and play Narco when you haven't even made the playoffs yet.
Yep.
Fair
Oh,
point.
no. We're very even keel right now. So
I still love Yum Yum when check out fired.
Yeah.
It's still one of the best things we've ever done.
That was a great moment.
All this just Ryan plays it. None of us say a word. We're all just bobbing our heads.
Yeah, this is getting that's getting deleted. 100%. No one's gonna know what we're doing. We're just all right. Any other game balls? Who hasn't?
Stafford. I'm giving it to Stafford. 4 touchdowns.
Huge
baby.
game.
Yep.
I'm giving my game ball to Joe Burrow because goddamn it, he's got to win something.
Oh,
Come on, Joe. I'm giving mine to I wanted to give it to the Seahawks, but give me McConkey.
McConkey.
I
has to
can
get
see
it.
Burrow and Jamar Chase starring in a movie that's made this summer called Escape from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
At least
Where the two of them-
Jamar Chase has an out. Like, he doesn't have to stay there.
Burrow has no choice. Yeah.
Burrow has no choice.
No, he can force his way. He can leave.
He
That's
can,
true.
he can James Harden his way out of there.
He can say a whole bunch of racist shit and get out.
He
Oh,
can show
don't do
up to
that.
training camp in a fat suit.
Yeah.
Sure.
The greatest James Harden story of all time.
I'm going to throw the football.
Who's now second in made 3-pointers as of last night, right? So
Yeah,
that'll forever be on the list of his career, and he's so annoying.
And listen, we could have a whole separate podcast about this. It's not worth going into right now, but Joel Embiid is soft, right?
Oh,
Yes,
everyone hates that
100%.
guy.
Yeah, right.
He's real soft.
And Drew, don't take up that much time. We still have our Degrassi podcast we got to get to.
Yeah. We got to get to that. It's time for plugs, though.
American yearns.
What? They do yearn. What's on
Canada
Bloody
yearn.
Good Music this week?
I don't know. I've been out of the country for a week. Just go check it out. I'm sure there's something amazing on there. I
Chris is doing
apologize to
stuff.
Chris. I haven't caught up with that yet.
Chris is doing stuff. We have not caught up on the TJF Gang episode, so stay tuned. We're
However-
about a week out, maybe, but we have watched them.
We have watched them. And you watched them, Ryan? You've
I
seen all
did.
4?
I did.
How about that Hanging for Mr. Cooper episode with about 5 minutes left? And I've never seen a show take a right turn as hard as that show takes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
I was watching that with Rachel, and she was shocked. She's like, wait, what is happening?
And a Hanging with Mr. Cooper episode.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper is doing this?
Yeah.
And also, I
Real
thought,
weird.
we're going to talk about it and break it down. But I thought, oh, Cooper, you don't know how bad it gets.
Yeah, right.
It gets a lot worse, Cooper.
Yep.
Gun violence is not solved. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yep.
So sorry to you, Mark
He thought
Curry.
he could yeah, Mark Curry thought he could end it all.
Yeah, he really tried, but boy, it didn't work out for you. All right. Student of the week?
My student of the week was a kid who complained about the flavor of gum that I gave him that he needed. He said I need to get Polar Ice next time.
Complained about the free gum he got.
Free
You need to
gum.
get better breath next time.
And you told him, you surf, be happy with your
Yeah.
You
crumbs.
surf. I keep
Farm
trying to
my
remember.
potatoes.
We
I
made
have
at
one
least.
plug, I can't remember what it was, but I do have a plug.
Okay,
My
plug.
is Thanksgiving is the best holiday of the year, and I am looking forward to it immensely. I am a pro. This is a pro Thanksgiving podcast.
Just not the football that's going to be on that day.
Oh no, but yeah, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because it's football on a Thursday when your entire day revolves around wearing comfortable pants, eating food, and taking a nap.
Yep.
And it's a small enough holiday where you can leave out members of family and not feel exceptionally bad about it or have to hear about it because, quote, they were busy with other plans. And it's an
Well,
automatic 4-day weekend.
I feel like you're missing the plug part of this because there's a very good plug, but you haven't plugged it yet.
Well,
Our longtime sponsor is a great appetizer.
well, yeah, and there's no better way to wait for that Thanksgiving platter than with a delicious bowl of cedar tzatziki.
I thought that's where it was going at first.
Appetizer. I was getting there. You didn't.
No, you were getting there. I didn't trust you. I'm sorry.
$97 million is what they
Ryan,
in case anyone wants to listen.
process.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say there was no better way than with some delicious Kong's natural catnip.
Eat it.
Oh,
Eat it.
a new sponsor on the show?
Yeah.
No, I just, for whatever reason, the
Cat
catnip
behind you
was good on the
stirs. The clock awakens.
You know what's crazy? $108 million is what Collins
Yeah.
is paying us.
This show is brought to you by possums as well.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Dead or
Low-bearing
alive.
possums.
Dead or alive, possums.
Look,
Oh.
it's the official marsupial of the
Yeah,
podcast.
we have a marsupial. Oh my goodness, we have to go.
Yeah,
and I'm really excited to watch Tommy DeVito versus Cooper Rush.
DeVito, Rush, next on CBS.
It's the fever.
God. All right.
Followed up by The Mentalist.
Numbers.
And a new episode of Blue Bloods.
And McConkey after that.
I'm glad McConkey.
All right. We're out of here. Peace out. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.